Hey everyone, is this working? I don't know. Okay, so hi, I'm Bailey from My Holy Joy, and we're gonna do a little Q&A/summer recap. I'm so excited to have you guys all here. If you want to join in the conversation, go to bighouseinthelittlewoodsblog.blogspot.com, and there's a chat box in the sidebar, and you can join in on our chat thing, which seems to be slightly delayed, so this should be interesting. But I'll be checking that, and I can take your questions and your comments. I'm really excited to be doing this because you, my readers, are my most favorite part about blogging. I mean, I like writing and I like rambling about things, but I really do enjoy every single comment that I get, and it just makes everything so much better. It's like having a real conversation. Look, I'm just rambling. This is me. This is normal. So to get this ball going, someone asked me how my sister's wedding went, and I was gonna wait to do a blog post on it once I got the professional photos, but those are still not here. So I put together some photos from Facebook, and I'll briefly go through those. Let me see. Alrighty. Where is it? I can't find it. Just a second. All right, now let's try screen sharing. Oh, here we go. Alrighty. As you can see, I've never done this before. Don't really know this is working. I hope you can all hear me. Okay, so this is the beautiful Mrs. Bethany DeRee and me, of course. This is right after the wedding. It was a beautiful wedding, and it was a hard day because, I don't know, it's just crazy to watch your sister get married, but it was also a lot of fun. Okay, here's a picture of the newlyweds. Bethany was definitely the most gorgeous bride I've ever seen. Don't think anyone's gonna top that in a while. Okay, here is the decoration, or some of the decorations. So the story behind this is the groom ran into me like 15 minutes before the wedding started and said, "Bailey, the sign outside the door fell down and smashed into a billion pieces." So I was like, "Oh, you don't need to worry about this. You're getting married. I'll take care of it," because I'm so dexterous with this kind of stuff. Not. So I ended up putting together this puzzle of broken sign, and it turned out okay. You can read what it says. I don't think Bethany actually knows this story, so if you're watching, Bethany, surprise! Okay, this is me walking down the aisle with the groom's oldest brother. And if you can't tell, I'm almost about to cry. All of the bridesmaids were bawling right before the ceremony started, and so every single one of us was fighting back tears going down the aisle. And I didn't realize that a sister getting married could be so emotional, because I don't really cry in public, but I cried a lot. So there's me crying. And this is a happier photo. Afterwards, while we were waiting to take photos, that's my older brother, Chase. That's my great friend and the maid of honor, Sarah, and then one of the flower girls, dumping petals on my head. As you can see, we kicked off our high heels as soon as possible because high heels and grass do not mix, plus high heels and standing for a long time during a ceremony do not mix. So we're just chilling. This is Eric tying on Daniel's tie. Eric was a great help. He helped decorate and carry heavy things and hang up really high things, so good thing he's tall. And here's my embarrassing story of the day. Bethany did a bouquet toss, and I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to participate, but I did anyways, and I was kind of determined to catch this bouquet, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to catch it because I was kind of on the outskirts. But when Bethany tossed the bouquet, I just went for it, and I just stuck my hand out, and the bouquet landed perfectly in my hand, and I let out a shriek of delight that was way too loud and obnoxious. And then everyone started laughing, and actually, I think I'm laughing because Eric took off out of the gym. Everyone started chanting his name, and he abandoned the room. So yeah, that was my victorious moment. And then this is my favorite photo of the day. It's me and Eric, and I posted that on Facebook, and everyone thought that we had secretly eloped, and this was a photo from our ceremony, but it's not. I'm just a bridesmaid, and he just looks nice in a suit. So that's that. Hello again. Oh, there's Bethany. Yay. All right, Bethany did not know about that sign. Okay, sadness. Well, now you know. Okay, so I got one question from Mary, and I was super excited about it. It was super deep and philosophical, and I hope you guys can comment on it, or Mary, if you want to elaborate on it too as I'm talking, so that we can figure this question out together. Okay, her question was, what do you think is the difference between I deserve blank and I am worth blank? So the difference between I deserve and I am worth. So I was thinking about this, and I'm not really great at philosophy, so excuse my long rambling answers. I think the difference is, at least in my mind, that I am worth is something that I am. It's just your state of what it means to be a human, the worth of a human. It doesn't change based on your circumstances. It doesn't change based on how people treat you. It doesn't change whether, like nothing changes it. That's just like who you are, what you're worth. And then I see I deserve as more, how do I put this? I guess it's more circumstantial. It is more of how people treat you, or whether your life circumstances look like they match up with how you're worth. I mean, and the I deserve part is more of a manifestation of your worth instead of your actual worth. And you can have worth without that necessarily being manifest in your everyday life. If that makes any sense whatsoever, I guess I would just see it as you don't always get what you deserve, but that doesn't change your worth. So what you deserve is more like stuff that comes and goes, but it doesn't change your worth. This is why I don't do philosophy, guys. So does that answer your question, Mary? I think we're having a delay in the chat box. So Yeah. Yay! Do you want to type out more of like what your thoughts were on that while I continue to ramble? And anyone else can jump in too. And while y'all are thinking about this, I'm gonna keep the conversation going a little bit. So the last thing that I had planned for our little time, unless any of you guys have any questions on literally anything whatsoever, was I wanted to quickly recap what it was like to live alone. I wasn't actually alone. I was living with a couple other girls, but I wasn't living with family. I wasn't living with close friends. And oh, yay, Mary responded. Yay! Yeah. Yeah, I agree with what Mary is saying. She said, I usually hear I am worth in self-care context, but I deserve tends to denote selfishness. And I think that's definitely true. And she says that her thoughts are as rambly as mine. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who rambles. But I think you summed it up much more succinctly than I did, Mary. So good job. Also, it's hard to answer questions in a chat box and ramble at the same time. So I'm really bad at multitasking, in case anyone wanted to know. So I was talking about, okay, so living alone, and I wanted to quickly recap my summer, like what I learned. I was going to do a blog post on it, but I'll just tell you now. So the two cons that I found to living alone, living without your family, living without your close friends, is that the weekends are really lonely. It's easy to get by throughout the weekday when you have work going on and stuff like that. It's kind of nice to come home and not have anyone to distract you from writing or thinking or reading. But on the weekends, when you have nothing to do, it's really sad. So that's just something to keep in mind, to plan stuff on the weekends if you're ever living alone. And then what was my other con? See, this is why I don't speak extemporaneously. This is why I write, because I'm super forgetful. And I can guarantee that Bethany is laughing at me right now. But Bethany is my sister, by the way, that Bethany. I know a lot of Bethany's. And I can't remember the other con other than don't stay home alone in the dark in a bad neighborhood, because there are scary people, unless you have pepper spray, which I don't. So I'm going to get that for next year. But the con or the pro about living alone, what I realized, I didn't realize what the pros were of living alone, living by myself and being independent were until I came home. I came back to my house. And it's that, I don't know, I feel like I felt much more alive as an independent woman with like all the responsibilities of grocery shopping and cleaning and stuff like that. And now that I'm home, my mom does a lot of stuff like that, or I have siblings who do a lot of things like that. And I don't feel like I fit in as much in regards to like, what is my role here? What am I supposed to do? And that makes it hard to really feel like a human and to really like live up to my potential of what it means to be an adult. So I think that living alone taught me what it truly means to be independent and to be an adult So I'm excited to go back to school and to be back like in charge of all areas of my life. So those were just a couple boring thoughts that I had about living alone this summer. Okay, Mary has another question. Yay, you win the gold star. Okay, I really enjoyed your wardrobe post. Yay! I was surprised you guys liked that. I was scared. I thought you guys were going to think I was super shallow for writing about this, but got a lot of great feedback. Okay, and she wanted to know, how did you come up with your color palettes, and do you find that all your clothes work together with each other? I came up with my color palettes based off what I normally wore. So, you know, you have a billion clothes, but then there are the few pieces that you wear all the time. And so for me, that was a pink shirt, like a blush pink shirt, and a yellow shirt, and a black and white striped shirt, and then a lot of brown stuff for the winter. So I just went off what I knew I wore all of the time, and then try to come up with color combinations that went well with those colors. So yeah, it was really based on my own personal preference and not really on any magical formula of, oh, this looks good with my skin or my eye colors. I literally just picked what I normally wore. And then, do you find that all your clothes work together with each other? Since I just bought my wardrobe, I'm not quite sure if they're all going to work together, but I think theoretically, yes. With the exception, like obviously some of my black stuff doesn't go super well with some of my more colorful stuff. But actually pretty much everything can be mixed and matched with each other. And I'm kind of overwhelmed now because I have so many options of what to wear because it all kind of goes together. And I'm just too excited. I want to wear every single thing that I own all at the same time, which doesn't work. So yeah, does that answer your question, Mary? I'm really like such a terrible person when it comes to fashion advice. So I'm literally just like going off, oh, this color looks nice and I would wear it. So yeah. Bethany, what are you making for supper? She's chopping up basil. So yeah, does anybody have any other questions? Because that's all my prepared things. But if you guys have any more questions, you know I love to ramble, so I can answer whatever. I really think there is a delay. So I'm going to awkwardly sit here for a little bit until I get an okay that you guys have had all of your questions answered. And I'm really curious to see who my other two viewers are. Thanks for joining, guys. Unless I'm counted as one of the viewers, that's weird. Oh, yeah. Okay, I love Mary's comment of us all joining together without a fashion background. And that was one thing when I was researching, because I'm not a fashionable person. I just am not. And the blog that I linked to, here, let me write it down. Putting myself together. Putting myself together is the blog that I went to. And she started out just like me. She had no idea really how fashion worked. She wasn't really into that kind of stuff. She just wanted to look more professional and like an adult, which is what I kind of wanted to do too, and she just learned along the way. And I find her advice really practical in a way that other fashion blogs have not been. Yeah. Bethany, is that a question? You want a sneak peek of my cute photo shoot, or are you just... So it sounds like we should all go over to Bethany's house for dinner because she's having pork chops with a basil butter rub. This delay is so awkward. I'm sorry. So while we're waiting for Bethany to clarify her comment, here is... This is my room, by the way. It's actually the guest room, and my sisters like to come in here all the time and work on their computer or do their school in here. And every time I walk in and they're in here, I'm like, guys, get out of my room. I need to sleep. And they're like, it's not your room. It's the guest room. So whatever. Okay. Yay. Mary asked another question. Yay. Thank you. Okay. Explain Pinterest. I tried using it once and it was overwhelming and awful. That is a great question because I was never into Pinterest. I kind of thought it was silly. Okay, not that it was silly, but that it was like for people who were into fashion and crafts and cooking, and I wasn't into any of that stuff. I kind of use it as like just like what is the word? I don't know, this little like data dump for all these things that I find on the internet, and then I categorize them. So here, let me see if I can share my screen. Entire screen? No, is this what I want? Oh, hello. Yeah, okay, here we go. So my Pinterest boards are actually like not, I mean, I do have a style board, but the other ones are like if I'm working on a project, especially if I'm trying to design something, I'll just dump all the stuff in here. And what's really helpful, I don't actually know how to do this anymore, but you can download a Pinterest button for your web browser, and then you can right click on things and say pin it, and it'll automatically pin it. The most helpful thing that like my favorite board is my life hacks board. So I actually save a lot of articles. This is a lot of workout stuff. I save a lot of articles that I thought were really interesting. And I think it works better than just saving it to your browser or to your, I don't know, your saved stuff on your computer, because then you can organize it and you can see the photos and you can see a little explanation. So yeah, and I know a lot of people, use Pinterest to like, they'll pin an article. Wow. Yeah, visual bookmarking tool. Thank you, Mary. They'll use it to save articles that they want to read, but they don't have the time to read right now. So for those of us who are not crafty or stylish or like cooking, it's a visual bookmarking tool. So that's how I use it, and I don't really do anything else with it. I know people who scroll through it like Facebook, but I don't know. I can't do that. Okay, Bethany wants me to share some of the photos that she took of me, yesterday. Ugh, Bethany. So Rebecca, one of my fabulous readers, wanted to see what some of my outfits looked like. And so Bethany and I had a photo shoot yesterday. What am I doing? Okay, I'm looking for it. And not all of them are edited, and some of them are weird because I'm weird, not because Bethany is a bad photographer. But it was fun. I can't find it. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'll share my screen again. I'm so proud of myself for knowing how to share screens now. No. Okay. So the fun thing, this is actually fun because Bethany has a lot of blank walls in her new apartment. And, what are you doing? Yes, so stylish. Yeah, so here was our studio. We had lights and her apartment wall and stuff like that. Guys, I am seriously the most non-photogenic person in the history of ever. See what I mean? Also, the awkward thing about these pants in this lighting is that it looks like I'm not wearing any pants, which is really awkward. So yeah, there was a random coyote thingy. We don't understand why that was there. This is behind Bethany's apartment. There was a pond. So this is what I'm calling my Cinderella dress. For some reason, it just makes me feel like, I don't know, just a little Cinderella. Maybe it's the color, or maybe I'm just crazy. So most of these poses, this is so embarrassing. Most of these poses are literally me falling over in my high heels in the grass. These are the same oh my. These are the same high heels that I wore for Bethany's wedding. This is not working. So yeah. So glamorous. Bethany, this is so awkward for me. Okay, back to the start. All right, anyways. Stop. Oh, you guys are so kind. The funny thing about this photo shoot was that there were some photos that were just super awkward, and it made Bethany laugh really, really hard, and it was great. So, okay. Do we have any more questions or more requests for embarrassing photos? There's gotta be a more time efficient way to communicate this. Oh, well, too late, Bethany. I shared all of them. Okay. So, okay, so if you guys don't have any more questions, and if you're hiding because you're scared that your question is silly, don't feel that way because I just shared a bunch of silly photos of myself. So that should make you feel better about yourself. So one thing that I've been thinking about, I'm waiting for you guys to like tell me like, nope, I have no more questions. Good. But one thing I was thinking about, especially I was preparing for this, is how much I appreciate people who are genuinely funny on the spot and how much I wish that I was like them. Eric and I have been watching a lot of Saturday Night Live skits and Whose Line Is It Anyway skits, and I so admire people who can come up with funny things on the spot, because I can't, obviously. So to wrap up everything, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to be heading out. Oh! Okay, so Mary said, don't Google Hangouts have a chat thing through Google? They do, but I'm not quite sure how you guys are supposed to get there without actually joining the call. But there is a chat thing. So I don't know. I think I'll have to like troubleshoot this more for another time, and we can figure out how to do this in a better fashion. All right, Mary does not have any more questions. Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate all the questions that you did ask. You make me feel great about myself. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I'm going to be heading out to school tomorrow. And if it's the same Mary that you're Mary from college, right? She's going to be there too. So we'll get to hang out more and chat more in real life without awkward chat box delays. So yeah, I'm gonna be heading out tomorrow, and I hope that I can continue to blog. I'll be writing an exciting thesis that I told you guys about women in the church. So hopefully I should be sharing a little bit of stuff like that. And I'm hoping important things in my life will happen. Cough, cough, Eric, but we'll see. But I'll keep you guys updated on everything important, and hopefully I can pop in more than I have been in past semesters. But I thank you guys so much for being my readers and contributing to our conversations online. And thank you so much for coming out today and listening to me ramble. I really wish that we could all get together in person and chat about important and silly things all at the same time. And yeah. All right. Thanks again, guys. I'm going to head out and do things. So you go do things and all that jazz. I don't know how to end these things. But anyways, have a great day, guys. Thanks again.